Welcome to the Angel Mystic Podcast. I am super excited you are listening because this is where spiritually open minds can come together to explore the wonders of angels, spiritual connections, and the art of manifesting. Hosted by me, Amanda Tooke, the Angel Mystic, your spiritual midwife to help you on your journey to a fulfilling and happy life. You may have seen me on ITV, Channel 4, or even in Fate and Fortune magazine. In each episode, we will delve into the mystical world of angels, offering you insights, guidance, practical tools to deepen your connection with the upstairs so that you can find inner peace, happiness, joy, and create the life that you want. Tune in for weekly, fun conversations, transformational insights that will elevate your spiritual journey and awaken your inner mystic. Please hit subscribe now as we embark on a transformational adventure with the Angel Mystic Podcast. Before we get into this week's podcast, I just wanted to let you know some exciting news. I have opened up some more places for Psychic Circle. I launched it a couple of weeks back. It filled up really, really quickly, and you might have been disappointed that you didn't get a place. So if you want to join me and an awesome group of other people for 6 weeks, all on Zoom, developing your psychic skills, go and check it all out in the show notes now. And the other final thing I want to say before we delve into the podcast is I have my retreat, Angels in Anglesey. It is an award-winning retreat, stunning house, stunning location, by the sea, with a chef to work on you. If you want to learn more about that, go and check it out in the show notes. Now let's delve in. Welcome back to another episode of the Angel Mystic Podcast. In this episode today, we are talking about soulful self-care with your angels. This is really about taking some time for you and your angels. So let's delve in. Now, I'm sure we all know that we live in such a fast-paced modern world that's just literally whizzing by. It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind of everything we should be doing, we have to do. We're just very busy people, and we often lose touch with ourselves and with our spiritual connections. And then we end up feeling a little lost, a little disconnected, stressed, pulled in all directions, all of those things that do not feel good to our soul. And many of us find ourselves wanting to maybe run away, or we're running on empty. We feel like we have nothing left to give. We're feeling disconnected and overwhelmed just by the demands of day-to-day life. And in all of this sort of busyness, in this chaos that we humanly create, lies a really simple connection strategy that you can use that is self-care. But we are really led to believe, we are brought up to believe that self-care is selfish. And I'm here to tell you that it is not. Taking time for yourself each day, in each little moment, because that's all we have is now, is essential. And so often we throw ourselves into life, into other people's problems, because we care, because we want to help. But it does nothing but depletes our own energy and gives us less to give to other people. It makes us unhappy and not as nice to be around. And it can really impact your spiritual connections and your personal growth and your overall well-being, because you're not taking time for you to feel connected, to feel supported, to feel plugged in, because we're just too flipping busy. So let's take our power back and look at what self-care could be like. Because I think self-care is more than a bit of a pamper session. It's lovely, and don't get me wrong, I am front of the queue to get my nails done, get my hair done. There's certain things that are always going to make me feel good that are non-negotiable. But sometimes it's about just taking a break from the responsibilities of life that we have. It's about, nourishing not just our body, but our mind and our soul. About creating little spaces where you can reconnect with yourself. You know, connection is a big part of my work, and connection for me goes three ways. It's connection with yourself, which we often forget to connect with ourselves because we're so busy. It's connection with our desires, those things that we want to create. And it's connection with the upstairs. And especially if you are a mum or a caregiver in some sort of way, you're probably putting everyone else before your own sort of needs. And we do it for so long that when we do get some space in our lives, maybe the children have flown the nest and you've got a bit of wiggle room again, and you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you like anymore. And you feel empty. And it's a really strange place to be. After years of giving so much to everyone else, we've forgotten how to give things to ourselves. So doing that self-care is essential. Tuning into your needs, honouring them, creating, maybe it's rituals, sacred spaces, some meditation, some journaling, being in nature, just giving yourself what you need in little pockets, because I think happiness and joy isn't a destination. To have a happy and joyful life, I think it's about finding that on the journey to wherever we're going. So whatever that big manifestation is that you want, maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a relationship. It's not about going to be happy when you get there. It's about choosing to be happy on the journey and finding moments of joy and happiness, which I think ultimately boils down to connection, is something that we need to do throughout the day. When we speak of self-care, we often think of it as physical activities, of exercise, of healthy diet, drinking more water, good night's sleep, and it is all of those things. But it often extends beyond just the physical self-care needs. It can include your mental self-care, things like meditation, mindfulness, breath work, or just sitting in silence. Have you ever done that? Are you one of those people that just doesn't even allow yourself to think? That you take your phone even into the bathroom with you? You're so busy, like filling yourself up with things that are stopping you thinking about yourself. But when we do slow down enough and we do things like journaling, maybe talking out loud, talking to a friend, spending time in nature, we start to feel that connection again. Connection to ourselves, connection to our desires, connection to the upstairs. We can hear. The communication that comes from the upstairs is so subtle. And I think everybody wants to see it really clearly and hear it really clearly. But it's just not as clear as that. It's so subtle. And when we're busy and when we're occupied and when we're not giving ourselves a moment to be still, to be quiet, we're missing it all. Each and every day gives us an opportunity to connect with ourselves on a deeper level. And by doing some self-care each day, you can start tapping into that flow of energy that will enhance your spiritual connections. And when you enhance your spiritual connections, you're going to feel more supported, more cared for, more looked after. So some of the things that I like to do to integrate into my day to help me feel that connection that I do consider as self-care is having a really good daily practice. And that's what we do in Abundance Club. But some of those things that are in that practice is like a meditation. It doesn't have to be big. It could just be for a few minutes. But that place of going within centers my mind. It calms my spirit. It sets a positive tone for the day. It helps me slow down, go within, focus on my breath, set intentions and find that inner peace. And for me, inner peace is the ultimate manifestation. And I know I can find that at any moment because I can just go within and feel that calm that washes over me when I just close my eyes and focus on my breath. So finding those mindful moments throughout the day, taking those short breaks to practice some mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being really present, connection to the present moment. whether that's a simple walk, whether that's while you're eating your dinner, pausing to take a few breaths, just being more aware, being more grounded, being more protected, being more aware of your energy, of other people's energy and how it can affect you. All of this can help. And doing really good grounding and protection every day is something I recommend everybody does, even if you're not on a spiritual journey. And then there's the good old gratitude. I personally like to wake with gratitude and give gratitude for 3 things in the morning. And I also like to give gratitude at night and do a minimum of 10 things at night. And you can write these down, you can say them in your head, but it's about acknowledging what you've already got in your life. And whenever you're feeling in a bit of a funk, gratitude is a great way to flip that funk. It helps you focus on the positives that you already have, and what you put your energy into and what you put your focus on, you're going to get more of. So you're naturally going to be attracting more good things into your life. And do you know what? No matter how hard life is and how rubbish something is that you're going through, there is something to be grateful for. 100%. There is always something to be grateful for. And then we can create beautiful sacred spaces, your own little sanctuary. My bedroom is definitely that. But it doesn't have to be a whole room. It could be a small corner with a comfortable chair, some candles you like to light, somewhere where you can go and be present. You can put in there and like create an altar and put candles, incense, crystals, whatever you like. But it's your special space where you can connect, where you can meditate. Maybe you just want to read or just simply be. How often do we give ourselves time to just be? A few years ago, I think it's maybe about 7. I mean, it's hard to keep up with time, isn't it? Because it really does just whiz by. But I was creating a vision board one weekend and I put everything on this board. And I don't know where I found this picture of this little pink cottage by the sea. But I obviously found a picture and looked up where it was. I thought, oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. And I cut it out and I put it on my vision board and I wrote on top of it, write my book here. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because when I wrote my first book, Do I Have an Angel? I wrote that in a whole month of August it was, in between doing everything else. So I had to get up super early before anybody else and do some writing. And I wrote late into the evening as well. And I got my book done because I work definitely better on a deadline. And it was all finished, but it was a real squish getting it into my already busy life with 2 children still at home and school runs and all of that. So when I came to write my second book, The Manifesting Manual, I wanted to go away and just write my book. So when I saw this little pink cottage, I thought that would be the perfect place by the sea to write this book. And I went to bed that night and I woke up the next morning and thought, I need to see the availability on that cottage. So I looked it up online, and the only week it had availability for the whole year was on my birthday week. And it was quite a lot of money for me just to book. It was a 3-bedroom little cottage. It took a dog. Brilliant. Great. I just booked it. It was the first time I said to my family, I'm going away. Didn't ask them, did they want to come? Didn't discuss it with them. I just said, I'm going away. And I did. I went away and stayed in this cottage. And this is where the majority of the book got wrote. I'm not sure which word that should be. And it was wonderful. I did like lots of writing, but I also did lots of working on me. I meditated. I journaled. I meditated. I journaled. I walked on the beach. I ate lovely food. I just had a really, really nice time. And I came away from that thinking 2 things. One, how amazing that I was able to do the work on my book in such a beautiful house. And it was far different. My life was far different from the life I had when I was writing my angel book. I had, a better relationship with money. I'd worked on my money story. I was able to afford to do this. And I was very, really grateful that was a possibility to work on my book without distractions of normal life. I was so, so grateful as well that I could work on me. And I can remember going home and thinking, oh my goodness, I've got so much from that time away from the busyness of life, just working on me, that I know my clients would love that too. They would adore that. They would adore being in an environment where they could step away from life, where they could be pampered, where they could be looked after and just work on them. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to run a retreat. So that was in the March. And a few months later, I think it was in the June, I'd found this amazing house on Anglesey, which is the same island where the little pink house was, but it was much bigger, much grander, and it filled out immediately. So many people wanted to come, and so many people have been coming ever since. We've been doing it for, like I say, I think it's 7 years now. And I can remember when I first, because I'd never visited this house until I actually turned up with my clients. And I can remember arriving at this house and I had tears rolling down my face. The energy on Anglesey really is something else. It's just incredible. And when I got to this house and I looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, I am getting to stay in this amazing location. It just blew my mind of how far I have come on this journey from living in my little ex-council house, being in debt, living on benefits. And now look what I'm doing. I just had so much gratitude for that moment. And that's how the birth of my retreats happened, that have won awards, that clients keep coming back time and time again because they're so special. And they're called Angels in Anglesey. It's all about connecting with your angels, connecting with yourself, connecting with your desires. Now, whether you ever come on Angels in Anglesey or not, you can still do self-care work yourself every day. It's vital to take some time to step away from the humdrum of life. It's lovely if you can come on a luxurious retreat like I run, but equally you still need to do the work every day on yourself. And there's things that you could do at home. You know, you could allocate yourself a self-care if it's just an hour, an afternoon, a full day, a weekend, whatever that looks like for you. Write yourself a list of the things that you would do when you allow yourself to do it. What activities are going to make you feel good? You could put a meditation on, a sound healing on. You could perhaps treat yourself to a little holistic therapy. You could give yourself time to really journal. You could prepare all your food and drinks beforehand. You could play a special playlist. You could sit in nature. You could have a bubble bath. But stepping away from the demands of life and creating that little bubble for you can be really profound and give you a deeper understanding of yourself, who you are, what you're doing, what you want, how you connect, and what path you are really on. Self-care is a powerful tool for spiritual growth. When you take time for yourself, you're sending out a really special message to your soul that you are worthy of love and attention. And that opens up your heart, clears your mind, and aligns you to connect with spirit. And that's the true essence of who you are. You're a spiritual being. But we stay so busy that we don't even acknowledge that at times. And the more time that you give to this, the more your spiritual connections are going to deepen. And you'll start seeing life from a different perspective, from a spiritual higher perspective. And you know what? I'm going to say this again. Self-care is not selfish. It is essential. It's essential for you to show up for yourself. And especially if you've got younger generations, if you're a mother, if you're a grandmother, how can you expect those younger generations to look after themselves if you're not demonstrating that in your own life? So incorporate self-care into your daily life, taking time for yourself each day by maybe just doing your daily practice. It's all going to help. It's all going to help. And I think if you do more self-care, you're going to find that peace, that inner peace, that joy, that fulfilment that you are seeking. So I hope you found this podcast today helpful. I would love to know what you're doing for self-care. Share, please, in Abundance Manifesting, my free group, because it does help other people when they see what other people are doing. They think, oh yeah, I could do that. And if you want to come on Angels in Anglesey, check out the link in the show notes. Drop us an email. Until next time, bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit follow and share my message by sharing with your friends. It would be amazing if you can leave a review. All this will help, and it activates the universal law of the more you give, the more you receive. So it's a win-win. You can find more good stuff between episodes over on social media. Just search The Angel Mystic on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok, or check out the links in the show notes. I'd love for you to connect more over in my free group in Abundance Manifesting, all on Facebook. Hope to see you there.